Why in the world would someone do that?
Practice trigger squeeze.
Practice the trigger pull, the trigger squeeze. Second only to aiming, mastering the ability to generate that sight picture we talked about. The accuracy of your shooting was going to be largely determined by your trigger pull. How smooth and crisply your trigger pull is. How well you only move your trigger finger when you pull the trigger. Some people develop flinches when they pull the trigger because they're anticipating the recoil. And if you're shooting with a sadistic firearms instructor who notices that you're flinching and he keeps telling you to stop flinching, but you keep flinching anyway, he'll probably slip into your magazine some dummy rounds. So then when you finally get to this round in your magazine and you pull the trigger on it, the gun won't discharge, but you're going to actually be jumping. And he's going to like, why in the world did you jump? See, stop flinching. It has absolutely nothing to do with the ammunition. It's all in your head. Stop flinching. Like I said, sadistic trick that some firearms instructors play on their students to get them to stop becoming so hesitant to pull the trigger on a live or a loaded handgun. Essentially what dry fire is like we said, you find some target at home, something, some spot on the wall, you take your handgun, after you have completely verified that your handgun is what? Cleared, empty, unloaded, there's no ammunition in it. Once you verify that, go to a place in your home or your place of business where you have ballistically safe walls. What in the world is a ballistically safe wall?
Something that the round won't go through.
Yeah, like if for whatever reason you forgot to check and verify that your gun was loaded or not, you forgot to check the status of it. If you had an accidental or negligent discharge in your house, the wall that you're pointing at least it won't go through the wall and hit something else and trigger that transfer of intent problem. Okay? For some people, it's like the basement, the cinder walls in the basement, right? Of course, you got to worry about ricochets, right?
Yeah.
So find a safe place in your house. Of course, if your gun is unloaded, you don't have to worry about that. But for some people, man, you can just drill it over and over and over again, and they just still refuse to adhere to Rule 0. Right? Always assume that your firearm is loaded until you have opened it, cleared it, and verified that it is in fact not loaded. And even when it is not loaded and you verified it's not loaded, you still do not behave irresponsibly and violate the other rules. The reason why you don't validate those other rules is because bad habits carry forward. If you behave irresponsibly with an unloaded handgun, just by sheer repetition and habit and practice, you will do some unsafe things with a live loaded handgun. Okay? So you got a clear handgun. You got a area in your home that has ballistically safe walls. This is your dry fire area. Before we even do that, we need to investigate whether we can actually safely dry fire our handgun. All handguns cannot be safely dry fired. How would we discern whether our handgun can safely be dry fired? Your operator's guide. Remember, I keep drilling this home. If you get anything out of this class, it should be don't talk to the police and read your operator's guide, right?